That won't be available, unfortunately, for parking. It will not be available for parking anymore or any events. So there is some land, as we discussed, down there. I don't know what part of Fort Getty is still vegetated, part of the 4 or 5%, but you could cut the rest of that 4 or 5% down and make a parking lot and probably service some of those events. But I think that we really need to think about what people want there, and financially, as being on the committee, as far as I can tell, the income really from everything's on the table, and everything anything can be, and it's really a question of whether we want to have a voice in what happens there. And that, frankly, it's really hard to tell how that's going to play out.
Isn't the council going to do a work session or something? There was something on the agenda last night. That may give us some time frame as to when we should do what we need to do.
Actually, it was that part was tabled away for the Fort Getty committee to come back.
So Mary,
they were talking about reconstituting the committees.
Right, that's right.
And reconstituting the charge and the people on the committee.
Right.
So that's still in play.
Right. But they're going to try to at least keep the momentum going from the last committee so that we don't reinvent the wheel again. Okay.
Well, we're doing the questionnaire. That's our our agenda right now. And the real question is, you've seen the questionnaire, is this the are we going to achieve the best results putting out a questionnaire? Can we put out a good questionnaire in January? Is that all we should do? But that's not really the business of the Conservation Commission so much. But the outcome is very much the business of the Conservation Committee. So I'm not really sure,
Because right now the questionnaire, Pat, if I understand you correctly, is opinion on use, all of the varied possible uses, the existing uses, where we're not a use.
Really, part of the focus is whether or not the trailer should be there. It also alludes to and there are questions that address possible alternatives, including the wind energy. Although that's sort of kind of an afterthought in the questionnaire, but it's not really an afterthought now because of this, as the designated site.
I think that too. That is the thing evolves. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed with the RV trailer people, and I actually went to the fire department. I was on a bike ride this past summer, and I don't know if this is really concerned us or not, but as you come into the park during the summer, you can buy a bundle of firewood, and they have those rings, the discarded rings. But I stopped and asked at the gate, when you sell someone a bundle of wood, do you give them any kind of a piece of paper telling them what you can and cannot do with that wood? And they said no. So I am riding, and it's a summer evening, and it's just about to get dark, and the trailers are like this, and there's a gentleman with the ring and the fire and other items in it, and the full family sitting around it, and he's got the lighter fluid from the grill, and he's going to ignite this thing. And some of the trailers have those propane tanks, but there's no defined, you must set this ring so many feet away from da-da-da. And the other thing I said, I asked, well, when you rent one of these trailer park things, what do you get? And you get the spot. I said, well, what about the open space that looks out onto the bay? Do you get that too to park your car? And he said, no. I said, well, then why is everybody parking their car? Because if I wanted to go up there and enjoy the open space, bring my family, have a picnic, I can't because it's all pickup trucks lined up. What they're supposed to be doing is in their space, parking their vehicle next to their trailer. But they park their vehicle where we could all go, so that in between the trailers they can put decks and lawn furniture and have an outing, So I think there's an abuse of use that everybody just kind of looks the other way because it's been this long-standing thing. And
well, there are town employees that manage Fort Getty, and Bill Paget, I think he does a pretty good job. It's not an easy job to do.
Right. But
how it's run is one thing, but I think
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know where we weigh in on that.
Well, it sounds to me like the fact that they're doing another survey means that the master plan can change again. So there's no point in going back to the old master plan until the new survey comes out, and then decide whether the committee's going to go back and revisit the master plan. That would be the time to look at and review the next master plan. So it'll be the third or fourth master plan.
What is the committee's charge? Is it to gauge what the town want? What
Um,
the citizens want?
Well,
Or is it what's best for the
their
town?
charge was initially to develop a plan, and I got onto the committee after the plan was developed, that would increase residential use of the park.
Townspeople using it.
But the survey, I think, indicated that while there was some, there was a recognition of the community of people living down there, it was really about the income. So the town residents, I think their position was, we want to use the park, but we want to keep the income from the trailer park. That I believe was what the committee was operating under, at least in the second round. And now, now it seems for a number of reasons, just because of having done a lot more diligence and this and that, that there are some real questions as to whether financially, and because that was the reason that people cited for wanting to keep the trailer park. Financially, it may not make sense from a financial perspective to keep them, and there may be other reasons to keep them there. There were some real financial commitments that would need to be made in order to keep the trailers there. A tremendous financial commitment in order to keep them there for a longer term. But that ultimately there were other sources of income that, in the end, I think that was about 250,000, and I guess the feeling was that maybe there are other uses of the park that could either generate replicate that income or in some way compensate for that income. But, these are.
Does anybody come up with any of those compensations or?
Yeah, sure. Ideas for them. The wind energy being one of them, although I don't believe that, at least the position of the wind energy committee is that the turbines are incompatible with the trailers. I've never heard any mention of. I don't feel that they think that that the trailers are, as I said, they can both be there at the same time.
Right.
As far as I know, but I didn't attend.
Did you say 250,000?
Was the net income?
From the
That's one of the figures we've been using. With their.
Yeah, it's a nice chunk of change.
Anyway, okay, so let's.
Yeah, but this is, digressing into.
All right, so it sounds like we should wait for the
Wait for the
survey.
questionnaire.
Yeah, because it sounds like there's an opportunity that we change in the master plan again. And we did look at the last master plan and made a few comments on that. So, but if you just keep us up to speed on what's happening and when we should weigh in again. And the council I know is going to review the charge, and that may change, and never know.
Yeah.
So that may change things too. Just hopefully we don't throw out everything again and start over too many times. This is the third committee that I remember.
So do you know if the questionnaire is going to call it a trailer park or a campground? Because my understanding it's always been a campground. Is this new connotation?
Oh, you know what? That sounds a little pejorative, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure about that, but that's a good point. I'm not really sure.
Because one of the other comments I heard is, let's get rid of the trailers and have boat parking up there.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we're going to replace one group of users with another because we like their use better.
Yeah.
Right, but I never heard anything about people parking boats on the hilltop.
No, not on the hilltop.
Down there on the.
Yes.
Well, they already do park the boats there.
Right. Or
they rent the spots.
Yeah.
But we did look at this group, looked at the questionnaire, and there are some people here that have done questionnaires before, and they answered no problems with the way it was written, and that it was fairly, it almost directed you in the direction that they wanted to go, or certain people wanted to go with maybe. So that's why maybe looking for more professional help.
That's a difficult thing to do.
You want the devil to live here?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Okay, is that pretty much, okay,
Yeah, that's pretty much.
okay, we're ahead on that, okay. Anything else on that? That's pretty much what's going on right now. Mary's still the chair?
She is.
Okay, Mary's good.
Yep.
Okay, Hull Cove, I pulled a copy of the grant application, which is, it's some pretty good money available now through DEM. It was just in the paper, and I went and copied the grant application, which I'm going to attempt to fill out, and submit a grant for the proposal. What I'm going to do is, I've talked with George Neal, for example. So I'm asked him if he would come over and look at the site give us an estimate